Hello and welcome back to my channel, Razel Dazel. Been busy crocheting it up. Finished all of the fringe on my poncho that I made. And I did the tassels. Put a little green up at the top and the bottom. Just came out of the dryer. It's a little damp, but I figured I'd kind of let it air dry a bit. But it really helped to soften it up. And I put it on delicate in the washer, and then I put it on medium dry in the dryer using my fabric softener and my fabric softener sheets to help soften up the yarn so it's not so stiff. I think it turned out so pretty. Get this hanger out maybe. Yeah. Let's try it on. Yeah. So there's the fringe down at the bottom. Way softer, drapes a lot better. And I even have a sweater on. But yeah. There we go. Isn't that so pretty? It drapes really nice. I can even drink my coffee without worrying about fringe getting in it. Yeah. See, I put the green up at the top and I decreased at 20. So every 20 stitches, I did a decrease. 2 rows of half double crochet. And I'm saying it for me to remember it too. So I can watch my own video so I can remember how I did it. And I did the cord that I saw on somebody's Pinterest. They showed you how to do cord and the little tassels. And that just kind of breaks up that yellow color too. And I'm making another one. But this time I'm doing the purple and the mustard yellow. And I just finished this panel this morning. Pretty psychedelic, but I think this one would be pretty. And then just do black instead of the green. Do black to break up the purple yellow color. So we'll have to see how this one turns out. So how I constructed it is you got your granny square in the center, and then you do this, you guys know what that is, this type of granny square stitch. And the first row is 7 of these stitches with the double crochet and the 3 count. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of that. And then the rest of this is just double crochet, and I got 8 rows of the double crochet. And I did the pattern a little bit different from this one. This one's got more black. I did 3, 2, and 3 in the black to get that thicker border. but this time I just did it by two. So I did two of the yellow, two of the purple, till I got my 8 rows. And we could switch it up and do every row, you know, a different color. You can have a lot of fun with this pattern. Or if you wanted to do all solid and this all solid or all different colors. So there's a lot of different types of color patterns you can do with these granny square panels. And you don't even necessarily have to do a poncho. I mean, you could do anything with these ginormous squares. You could make a blanket, or I don't know, but you could make a lot with these big squares. So this is number 2 poncho that I'm working on. But it took a lot of time. It took a lot of time to make this poncho. I'm very proud of it. This is definitely a designer piece. Definitely a one-of-a-kind designer piece. I mean, you might find that somebody made something similar in these colors. But yeah. Definitely a designer piece poncho. And it turned out very pretty. Great for, now I think this is nice for fall or kind of Halloween colors, but it's really pretty. And this is as black as I go because I don't wear a lot of black. But yeah, it's so pretty. Turned out really nice. But this is definitely something I would wear like in the colder, when it's colder outside. And that fringe took forever. It took a long time to get that fringe on there. And all I did was slip. I just did a slip knot. And I had to cut all of that and make sure, you know, it was pretty much even. And I did that front and back. And it gives it more length too. It's an optional thing. You don't have to do it with the fringe. You could just keep it regular. But it does add that. It adds some pretty colors down at the bottom to help break up the black color too. But yeah, I feel like I should be on the runway. Getting on the catwalk. Do a little catwalking down the runway, showing off my poncho. I'm goofy. But I would love to see this on the runway. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? A bunch of the models in ponchos walking down the runway. I mean, that would probably be better than some of the stuff I've seen on the runway. I've seen videos of some of the stuff you see on the runway. I'm like, who's gonna walk around in a trash bag, you know? But yeah. I've seen a lot of videos too where people are making fun of some of that stuff they got on the runway. It's just ridiculous. Like, even if it is like art, it's pretty out there. I'm like, come on, people. If we're gonna put something on the runway for fashion design, don't you think you should give people the chance to actually create something that is wearable, something that you would actually wear going somewhere. I mean, nobody's gonna be walking around with a weird looking, you know, we ain't gonna go to the store wearing something weird. I don't know, maybe some of you people do. But yeah, that's what this is what designing is about. You know, really thinking about how you're going to design something and how you're going to put it together and just make it different. You know, not something silly like running around with a bunch of yarn on you or something, you know, like, Okay. Anyways, I'm excited. I'm gonna make some more. They're very pretty. It took a long time to make this. Yeah. I'm not sure how much time I spent, but I mean hours and hours and hours and hours putting this together. It takes a lot of time, but I think it turned out really pretty. And I'm gonna make more. Because like I said, this is something that people would actually wear, especially if you're going camping or, you know, just doing some outside work or sitting on the porch, or in the winter time you're going to the grocery store. It's beautiful. And I can guarantee you're going to get some comments because it's gorgeous. That's not something you get, you know, in a regular store that come off of the factory line, because it's handmade. You have to crochet every stitch with your hands. I mean, they could probably come close to recreating it with some of the machines that they have. But, yeah. It's beautiful. I love it. And like I said, I'm going to make another one in this pattern here. And these are all the same colors that I used in this poncho. They're the same colors. It's just a different color pattern. And then I'll probably do black at the top and maybe some black at the bottom to break up the purple and yellow. But I have to make 3 more panels just like this one, whip stitch them all together front and back. I gotta weave all of my color changes in, and then decide if I'm gonna put fringe on it. The fringe was probably the longest process, having to wrap and cut all of that fringe. So I'm excited, guys. I think it turned out really well. And then this is the next pattern I'm working on. I'm so addicted, like I was so addicted with this pattern. I wanted a big project because I've been working on so many of the little projects, you know, with these keychains and stuff, that I was like, I want to do a wearable, because you don't see a whole lot of the big projects that are wearables. And the wearables in the crochet for the winter time is amazing. It doesn't matter what type of, material you use. Like acrylic is good because people who have allergies to the wool and stuff like that, acrylic is perfect for that. But I would also just love to make a poncho with the Happy Place yarn. I think that would be amazing. Of course, it would be twice the twice the expense there. It'd be 2 times as expensive with the Happy Place yarn because it's got 50% wool and 50% cotton, but it's so soft and you can wash it in the washer and dryer no problem. I've done tests on it and the colors are really pretty as well. But the price point, it would be double the price just because of the yarn and how much yarn it takes. Like I said, I think it'd probably be close to about two balls of the big twist. It took about 2 balls of this. It's close to 2 balls of the big twist value. Yeah, definitely. Like I used an entire ball just to do the black. So I'm going to say it's going to be real close to about 2 balls of the big twist value. But of course, if you want to put more colors in it. I've got 5 different colors in this poncho. It has the green, the black, the yellow. I got gray in it. And the purple. Yeah, green, black, yellow, gray, purple. 5 different colors on this one here. And you could, if you wanted to put 6 colors in it, you could. However many colors you want to use. Or if you just want to do 2 colors or 3 colors, But I think that turned out amazing. I'm very proud of myself. Like I said, it's still a little damp. I kind of pulled it out of the dryer real quick so I could do this video and kind of talk a little bit about the crochet world. I still have yarn I haven't unpacked yet. I got a bunch of the white in the big twist. And I got a lot of that mustard color. I really liked it. So yeah, I got some colors to play with up in here, up in the craft room. And I wanted to show you guys something I got off of eBay a while ago, because I used to remember these when I was a kid. I'm really going to start showing my age now. But back in the 1980s, they had this Disney cartoon. I'm pretty sure it's Disney. But they had these characters. And I remember these guys. And I got him off of eBay. Somebody took really good care of him because this yarn, it still looks brand new. But this is from the 1980s. And they're called Fluffy Dog. Fluffy Dog. Isn't that cute? And this is yarn. This is all yarn that they sewn it in to this dog. Boy, isn't that just the cutest thing? and I had to get it. But wouldn't it be adorable if they would bring those guys back? Like they did with the Rainbow Bright and some of the other toys from the 1980s. But yeah, I thought that was a super cute toy that us kids we had to have these, you know, because all that yarn. But somebody took really good care of him, and it's adorable. I know when the kids come over, they like to get into the toys and stuff, and, you know, play with the animals and all the little vintage toys that I have, especially Sabrina. Sabrina, she loves it. But yeah, I usually pick them all up and put them back in the toy box. But I just thought that was a really cute idea. And if somebody would come up, you know, something like that, that would be awesome. Some more ideas for the crochet world. All you people out there, giving you ideas on what we can do with the Big Twist yarn now that we have stocked up on it. We gotta do stuff with it now. And I decided to go with the poncho. I'm so proud of myself. Pretty tired. I was working on that fringe hardcore, and I'm gonna make some different ones. They just take a long time to make. Like I said, I just got done with this panel this morning, so I need to weave all my ends and start on another one. I have to make another, because I got one, so I have to make another granny square. This one I just have to weave in, but that's fun too. I mean, there's all kinds of steps to this project. I mean, if you wanted to just make a bunch of the granny squares first in the different colors, or if you're like me, you know, I made the granny squares and I'm like, okay, I got that down, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the panels, and then once I get all the panels, I'll whip stitch them together, and then I'll do the neckline with the tassels and the cord, and then I'll add more black down to the bottom here, and then put all that fringe on there. That fringe is a process. It takes forever. Trying to get my yarn. I even had to hand make some more squishy on my handle because my hands were starting to hurt. So I just kind of wrapped some tape and stuff on it to make it kind of squishy. I can always take it off. Sometimes I'll just take it off when it starts to get yucky or whatever. I'll pull it off. But a cheap way to make your crochet hook a little bit thicker down at the bottom is just, I don't know, I think this is just medical tape I put on it, and it's got some squishy tape underneath it. So how I get started here is I just do a slip stitch here, and chain 3, and that's how I get this started. And I like to wear lotion too. Usually I put my lotion on and get my hands pretty lathered up, because I don't like it when my hooks squeak. And yeah, see, it's got a little squeakiness going on right now. I would love to get, like, I'm just using my cheap computer right now, but I'd love to get a tablet or something so I can do tutorials to show how, you know, I do this process. But okay, so like I added an extra chain there, and then I skip 2 stitches and go into the next. And I'm sure there's all kinds of tutorials on how to do this stitch too. But it's 3 double crochet in the 1 stitch, basically. And then you chain 1, skip 2, go into the 3rd chain here, and you just double crochet 3 times in the same stitch. And that's gonna give you your this granny square pattern here. And I did 7 all the way across on this type of a square, and it might be a couple stitches off, but I try to make sure that I had 7 on each side, so I might have to like make it work. Make it work. That's what we do. We just make it work. So I get at least 7 of these on each side to make sure it's even, because you want to make sure it's even. You don't want to have 8 on one side and 7 on the other side. That would just be goofy. Probably come out more like a rectangle, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with rectangles. Nothing wrong with that. Probably wouldn't sit flat. I don't know. Maybe it would sit flat. It would be okay. I mean, if you had like 8 on one side and 8 down here, and then 7 and 7, but it would give you more of a rectangular shape. Yeah, see, I kind of have too much here. See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my 7th one would be on this corner here. So I'm just gonna add an extra, take that out. I'm going to add an extra. So I skipped 3 chains because I was off a little bit. Probably from when I made the granny square. But that's okay, because we'll just skip 3 to make it work. And it's such a subtle difference, nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna notice if you did that to make it work. I'm making tacos for supper tonight. I went to the store and got some tortilla shells, some lettuce. I'm not a lettuce eater. I don't really eat lettuce, but hubby wanted lettuce, so I picked up some lettuce. But yeah, planning on making tacos tonight for supper. I did some of my laundry, so I got that out of the way. And I don't know how you guys are about laundry, but I try to do, like, if I can get away with it, I'm gonna do like the bare minimums on laundry. Otherwise, I'd have to do laundry every day. But I washed all of my blankets and sheets for the bed and changed out my bed. And that right there is like a whole day event, just, you know. And I'm seeing all these different yarns and stuff that you guys are posting and things that are on sale, and I'm trying super hard to stay away from the, like, I really need to buy more yarn. I probably will. I'm trying not to. I'm like I'm like the type of person, you should just use what you have. Yeah, but they're so pretty. Like, there's no possible way I'm going to go through all this. It takes so long to crochet and go through a ball of yarn. But yeah, I'm doing 7 of these stitches on each side of this square, and I just make it work. Like, there's an extra stitch at the end, so I'm actually skipping 3 stitches to get the 7 to fit in there. But nobody's gonna notice. It'll be okay. So anyways, once I get through all of this, and then, so you kind of have to pay attention to this first one, the first row, because you want to make sure you got the same amount on each side. And then you can just pretty much, after you get through that, you're golden. You're like, okay, all I have to do is color changes and it's the same stitches throughout. But yeah, I like it, guys. This is what I'm working on. Sorry about the socks. I didn't make socks. I made a poncho. I got on the poncho kick. That's what happens. You get bored with something and somebody gives you another idea, and then here you are at the sweatshop trying to make a poncho as fast as you can. Well, it took me about a week. I'm guessing a week or 3 days or something, however you want to. But yeah, it took me about a week to make that, and I've been on it hardcore, sweating away in my sweatshop with this machine right here. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, that's why it's so expensive. It's the time and labor. It has nothing to do with the yarn. Nothing to do with the yarn unless you're spending like $25 on one ball of yarn. Then it might start adding up, but really it has nothing to do with the cost of the yarn. It's the labor. It's the love and the labor you put in to making, actually making it. So that's why we get kind of ticked off when somebody has a craft show and spent hours and hours and hours, so much time and dedication to making those items, and then somebody walks up and says, "Well, I can make that," just so they can save a buck or two. 90% of the time, they're not going to make it unless they're a hardcore crocheter like we are. And then that's totally cool. It gives them ideas, and I'm all about that. But 90% of the time, the people that say, "Well, I can make that," well, go for it, because I doubt you are. You're going to figure out real fast how much time is invested into making an item. And you're either going to get frustrated, or you're going to get bored, or you're just going to put it down and not pick it up again. That's what usually happens. That's why I like to buy stuff from other crocheters too, because everybody's different, their style and how they crochet. Everybody has their own little personality and puts their own little twist on things. So yeah, I buy from other crocheters too, because I know that I'm not going to make it. Because I'm making everything else that, I want to make. But if somebody makes something I really like it, I'm going to buy it. Yeah, I will. I've bought a couple of things. But yeah. Because every crocheter is different. We are all designers in our own way, and we all make unique items that nobody else has, that nobody else is gonna, it's one of a kind, I should say. One of a kind, because I'm not making another one of these. I'm going to switch up the colors. I'll do different colors, but I'm not going to make the exact same thing. That's the only one. That's what you get. I'll switch up the colors, but I want to be unique. I want to make something that that's the only one of a kind items. So that's kind of what I think. Unless it's, amigurumi or something like that. But even with the amigurumi, I try to switch up the colors and stuff because just in my mind, I don't want something that somebody else has. That takes the fun out of it. That's like going to Walmart and buying a printed tank top or whatever, and they got like 6,000 of them made. So, I'm going to walk around and somebody else is going to be wearing the same tank top, you know. Like, we all want to be different. It's just too boring. Like, it would be too boring watching people wear the same items. Yeah. That's just kind of my take in the fashion industry, and as far as like designing one of a kind items and why it's so expensive and why I'm not gonna sell these for $40. No. No, because that is probably that's probably about 20 hours worth of work right there. 20 hours of work. I don't know how much you get paid an hour, but yeah, that's a lot of time. So no, you're not gonna get that for. Mm-mm. I don't know. I don't know what price to put on it because it's basically priceless. Priceless because it's one of a kind. And that's what makes crochet so special. Even if it is a hobby, this would make a wonderful gift for somebody for Christmas time. But as far as like people having trouble selling things in markets and stuff like that, somebody would really have to like it, and understand the time it takes to make it, every single stitch with this machine here. Because this is my machine. This right here. It's primitive. Your hands get tired after a while. You have to do some hand stretches, Your forearms. You feel it in your forearms and in your wrists, and you can't do it for too long. You have to take a break and do something else for a little bit and come back to it. Usually I can go a couple of hours and then I have to take a little break. So, yeah. I guess I'll let you guys go. And I hope you guys like and subscribe to my channel. I'm starting out, I'm still pretty new at this. And I'm just keeping it real, being myself. This is what you get. I don't edit nothing. I don't have time to figure out, how to edit and da 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 and all that fun stuff yet. I mean, maybe I'll get there, but as of right now, I'm just keeping it cool and doing my thing and having fun. And it's still more of a hobby. I mean, I do have a craft booth, and I'll make little things for the for the craft booth, like these little keychains with the little fruities. I'll make stuff like that for the crafty booth, or like my little amigurumi animals and stuff like that. But as far as stuff like this, I mean, this is what I get into. I don't want to crochet something so fast and awful and horrible that, that I myself wouldn't wear or enjoy. I want to make sure it's something that I would personally wear and enjoy and take just a lot of pride in my work. That's just who I am. So, alrighty, I'll let you guys go, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.